Hello everybody, my name is Ryan, and in this lesson I'm going to make some changes to my project, and then I'm going to stage them and commit them, and I'm also going to be showing you how to write a good commit message. Then I'll also show you how to search the Git log, and then how to show all the changes that were made in a specific commit. So let's go ahead and do a Git status. So currently I have nothing to commit. My working directory is clean. That just means that my files are completely up to date with the files in the repository. So let us do a git log to see all the changes that have been committed so far. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 entries in my log. The latest one's at the top and the initial one's right at the bottom. Okay, so let's clear the screen. Just type clear, and I'm ready to make some changes to my project. So I'm going to edit the guest file. I'll just launch my editor and let's make some changes. So let's say updated on 9th of January, and then I'm going to add a time to that. So I'll say 12:40, and then I'll just put my full name as the author, and I'm going to change the random number to be 50, and then I'll just change it down here as well. Okay, so let's save that and exit, and let's just change one more file. I'll change accounts.py, and I'm just going to set the balance to be 1,500. Let's save it and exit. So the next thing to do is just to get status, and you can see it's picked out that there are two files that have been modified, accounts.py and guest.py. And the way it's able to detect that they've been modified is it's because they were already in the repository, and because they are set to be tracked by Git compares the versions in our current folder with the versions in the repository, and it sees the checksums don't match, so therefore it shows them as being modified. So now what we need to do is we need to stage them and commit them. Before I do that, we can always quickly review changes that are about to be staged by just doing a git diff. Git diff just means show me the differences between the files in the working directory and the files in the repository. Okay, so there are two files listed here, accounts.py and guest.py, and then there's an A version and a B version. The A version is the version in my current directory, and the B version is the version in the actual repository. Okay, so I can see that in my current directory I've added the balance to be 1,500. It used to be 500. That was the old version. This is the new version. And then in the guest.py there's quite a few changes that we made. We changed the updated date, the author was changed, and the random number was changed, as well as the if statement. So now that I know what has changed, I'm actually going to stage those changes. Dot means add everything in the current directory to the staging area. And now if I do a git status, they're ready to be committed. So I'm going to then do a git commit. Remember, if you have a short commit message, you can just do -m for message, and then you can just say whatever message you want in between the quotes and press enter, and that will commit immediately. In this case, I need to specify a much more meaningful and longer commit message. So I'm going to remove that and just type git commit, and that will actually open up my editor of choice. and allow me to type in a message. So I'm going to put here a couple of things. Firstly, we start with one line in the present tense describing the basic changes we made to all the files. So what did we change? So let's say I'm just going to say version 1.1 and then skip a line and then list the specific changes that were made to the specific files. Okay, so let's see. If I just minimize this, I'll be able to see all the changes made. Okay, so we're going to say firstly change random number between 1 and 50 in accounts.py. Each line should be in present tense and each line should not exceed 72 characters. Some editors won't show up nicely if they're longer than 72 characters in a line. Okay, did I change anything else in accounts? As far as I can see, in accounts, in accounts, I just changed the balance to 1,500. So this wasn't in accounts, this was actually in guess. Okay, what else did I change in guess.py? Change the updated date to include time in accounts.py. Add surname to author in accounts.py. And then change if statement to check for less than or equal to 50 in guess.py. I think this should actually be guess.py and guess.py. Okay, so it's really important to get these messages accurate, because then later on when people look through code, it will be much easier to find out exactly what changed when. So I'm going to go ahead and save that and exit out, and then it's going to commit. So now if I do a git status, the working directory is clean again. And then if I do a git log, you can actually see my latest entry right at the top here. So that's how you write a good commit message. Now I want to show you some more features of working with the git log. So what I can do is just type git log -1, which will just show me the last entry. If I type git log -2, it will show me the 2 latest entries, and so on. Other nice features of git log is you can search by author. So you'll say -- author equals, and you can put any word within the name of the person. So I just put Ryan, but it still picked up the full commits. Let's do another example. So if I put here van, it still comes up because van occurs in my name. Okay, whenever you see this colon over here, it's just allowing you to scroll up and down with your arrow keys. If you just press Q for quit, it then goes back to your prompt. Okay, so another thing we can do is we can search in the log by using the grep option. So let's search for, let's say, comment. So any commit message that contains the word comment will then be displayed. So here we can see this commit message contained the word comment, and so did this one. We can also search after a certain date or before a certain date. So we'd say git log -- before, and then we'd put a date. So let's say anything before the 8th of January 2017, nothing. Anything before the 9th of January, yes, quite a few. Okay, so in my case today is the 9th of January, but I guess it's looking right up until the end of the day. I can also use after. So let's say I say -- after. So we could say anything after the 8th, but before the 9th. And that would also get a lot of information coming up. And then you can further narrow it down by a word within the commit message or the author. You can just add as many of these filters as you want. If you'd like more help on what git log can do, just type git help space log, press enter, and that will bring up some documentation on git log. And you can see there's several options that you can use. Feel free to go through the documentation to find many more different options. I've just shown you some of the most useful options that I find. Okay, if you want to view a specific log entry, just go git log. Let me just do git log -- one line. That summarizes it nicely. And then I can just say git log or git show, and then I can pick a specific commit just by copying in that hash. And now you can see everything that was changed on those files within that specific commit. Remember Q to quit if there's a lot of information. Okay, so that brings us to the end of writing good commit messages and also viewing the log, searching through the log for different commits, and then actually viewing a specific commit.